Breaking news, y'all. This is big news. Looks like Disney World Park shuts down indefinitely. This is probably the biggest news of 2023.
Now, what you're seeing here is every cross-reference in the Bible that is overt, an overt cross-reference in the Bible. Guess how many connections in the Bible? 63,779 connections in the Bible.
Mesopotamia, she's called Ishtar. When she went into the Greek land, she was called Aphrodite. She says, I am a woman, I am a man. It says it said in her hymns, it says she has the power to transform a man into a woman and a woman into a man. So what's going to happen? What's going to happen if she comes into the culture? You're going to start seeing what she's going to do is she's going to start masculinizing women, defeminizing women, and feminizing men.
Welcome back. My name is Renee, and this is Highly Motivated. Go potty and get your snacks because boy, do I have a show for you today. We are going through the most interesting and eye-opening TikToks that I could find. First up, Endgame Walt Disneyland allegedly shut down. Now, I'm just going to say that this is speculation. I don't know how accurate the reasons for them shutting down are. And this is for entertainment.
Walt Disneyland shut down.
Check this video.
Breaking news, y'all. This is big news. Looks like Disney World Park shuts down indefinitely. This is probably the biggest news of 2023. It says the entire Magic Kingdom land shut down, closed off indefinitely. Now, I tried to look up more information about this, but there is not much. But this says right here, due to unfortunate extreme conditions, a massive Disney resort has announced it will be closing immediately. Check this out. Even going to their website, this is what it says. We had to duck out. We apologize for the temporary inconvenience, but DisneyWorld.com is not currently available. Please check back in a few. What is going on with Disney World?
Do you guys like the little Caesars thing in the back, in the bottom right corner? Yeah, I get it.
So upon doing further research, do you know the allegations that Disney World had? The allegations about the children and all that? Well, check this video out and leave your comments down below. Let me know what y'all think. And share this video, share it.
Yo, Walt Disney World shut down today. Sorry, I'm outside. Shut down today. Now, I saw a TikTok, and I cannot remember who the content creator was, but that content creator said that they were most likely going to be shutting down Walt Disney World because somebody's kid got stolen and taken into a tunnel where the door closed, and then the police people didn't believe the person that there was this tunnel that closed up. And so it became this really big investigation. And the guy literally said, the content creator said, most likely Walt Disney World is going to shut down after this because they found out that the story was true and that the tunnels are linked to sex trafficking, child trafficking rings. This is getting crazy.
The cops said it's true.
Walt Disney World. Whoa. But the story in this article is saying that it was because of the losses during COVID.
Well, y'all let me know what y'all think. But then on the website saying we had to duck out literally tells y'all something is going on. Oh my goodness, y'all, this is the end. We know this is the end. We have been saying it's the end for a long time. But Disney World literally shutting down literally says it is the end of the world. But share this video. Let me know what y'all think and let's get it.
All right, first, I think that the music was way too loud. It was hard to hear what the heck they were saying. But, I mean, all I gotta say is that I found this video. I found it on Facebook. Obviously, it says TikTok. But it had one of those little eyes with the misinformation thing. That what was it said? It was the fact check, missing context or whatever. So that's how they feel about it. All right, next up we have a really good explanation of who the Starbucks logo actually represents.
The Bible, she's called Ashtoreth. In Mesopotamia, she's called Ishtar. When she went into the Greek land, she was called Aphrodite, and then Venus. She is all over. She is the goddess of sexuality, of sexual immorality. She's the goddess, she's actually called a prostitute. She's the goddess who her temples were filled with sexuality. It was made it public. And that has to do with gender. Because she says, I am a woman, I am a man. It says it's said in her hymns, it says she has the power to transform a man into a woman and a woman into a man. So what's going to happen? What's going to happen if she comes into the culture? You're going to start seeing what she's going to do is she's going to start masculinizing women, defeminizing women, and feminizing men. That touches everything. I think touches our culture, touches the roles, touches radical feminism and sexuality.
What do you guys think? Can you see the effects of Asherah in society today? My opinion is, yep, all over. Celebrities sacrificing their children in a different way.
You know how when we talked about the Kanye West thing, it was like kind of softly admitted to sacrifice his mother for fame? And we've seen this tons and tons of times. People's, their brother dies and they're famous. Like there's this sacrifice, like literal actual blood sacrifices happening for worldly treasures, right? Mm-hmm. You said that the innocence that you kill in a child is a form of demonic sacrifice.
Yes.
What does every celebrity have now instead of dead kids?
Trans kids.
Trans kids.
Yeah.
And I've heard this said, a lot of people said, you're not going to see them killing their kids anymore. You're going to see them transing their kids.
Yep.
Because it's still a form of sacrifice. And if they can get away with what's the line? I'd rather have an alive son than a dead daughter.
Yep. It's literally, that's their choice.
That's the choice of sacrifice in the elites today.
Yeah. I believe it. I mean, Angelina Jolie's daughter, Shiloh, she, from a very young age, dressed her as a boy. And if you're sacrificing their spirit, it is essentially the same, right? I mean, you're still affecting that child's life immensely. Changed by God. Okay. Satan had stolen my identity. For years I lived as a man, and then God stepped in and turned it around. Okay. Wow. Now I live as a beautiful, virtuous, anointed woman of God. Praise the Lord. He brought her a peace that only He can bring. Amen. Listen closely.
You guys, oh my God, watch this.
Society is a scam. So you wake up early in the morning to go to work to pay for a house that you're never at. And you pay for a car that primarily gets you from and to work, correct? The government takes anywhere from, let's say 30 to 50% of your wages. And then there's things like VAT, which is basically your money getting taxed that was already taxed. You save up your whole life for a pension, which at the end of the day, the government takes 40 to 50% of that. Then in your elder years, you're living off canned soup and fucking bread because that's all you can afford. And then you get your state pension, which you can't get until you're like 180 years old. And even with that, if you die before you get it, you can't even pass it down to your kids. The government takes it.
Of course.
We are all getting scammed so fucking bad. It's almost comical. People don't see this shit. How can you work 40 or 50 hours a week, especially nowadays, to pay for nothing? So figure 200 hours a month, you give your life to a corporation. And then halfway through the month, you're struggling to get to payday. Sounds pretty familiar, doesn't it? We're giving our lives away for nothing. It is a scam. we're losing more by going to work than staying our asses home. All a big scam. It's called the American Dream because you have to be asleep to believe it.
You guys.
I mean, I gotta say, I agree. You know, I think they got away with it before because you could work a job and afford your house and a good car and a vacation every year and a good Christmas and things like that, you know, not too difficultly, maybe putting some things on your credit card, but very slowly our money has become worth less and less and less and less and less. And now it's to the point where the majority of people are working and working and working and can't even attain a home. I mean, I think buying a home is a lot of people's goal, right? But how many people in our country today see that as an unattainable goal? Whereas before it's normal. You grow up, you have a house, you have a family, you have a house. Now it's a luxury to be able to buy a house. That's not how it's supposed to be, guys. And I honestly feel bad for the older generation because if for any reason their house burns down or something, they're kind of grandfathered into the good prices, right? But if something happens and they're forced to be uprooted, are they going to be able to do that on their Social Security or what little pension they have? No, like they make it if everything goes smoothly. And that's pretty much how most people's lives are right now. Like your car breaks down, you're probably putting it on your credit card, right? Like, and it's not a very secure feeling way to live, right? And I honestly think that is on purpose, right?
Not a person, not a person, not a person. Coming out the other end, a person! Human rights! Congratulations, you now have value. Can't say the same for this one.
Oh man, hold on, I gotta watch.
Not a person, not a person, not a person. Coming out the other end, a person! Human rights! Congratulations.
It definitely illustrates it perfectly. What do you think? Is that logic?
This is a graph that shows the handiwork of God. Now, what you're seeing here is every cross-reference in the Bible that is overt, an overt cross-reference in the Bible. Guess how many connections in the Bible? 63,779 connections in the Bible. If this was the work composed by one man, we would say, this man is a master. What a masterpiece. He's a master composer. The problem is, this is written by 40 different men over 1,500 years on 3 continents, Europe, Asia, and Africa, in 3 different languages, Greek, Hebrew, and Aramaic. And the entire book tells one united story. It's all connected together. Friends, the only answer for this, young people, listen to me. The only answer for this is God. Period. You find me another book in all of human civilization that even scratches the surface of this.
There isn't one.
This is a graph.
See that picture? Amazing. At this point, there are so many proofs for God's existence that if you don't believe in him, you don't want to believe in him.
Put your hands behind your head.
I have more disdain for those who abuse positions of authority than anything else. And I think that they should be judged more harshly even than the other predators, because there's a position of public trust that is abused by some of these predators. They work themselves in a position as a judge or a chief or a teacher or a coach or something that we traditionally want to give respect and credibility to. My gosh, he's supposed to be serving and protecting. He's got kids of his own. If our officials are in on it, we've got a problem. Statistically, we're learning that each child predator harms an average of 70 children each. Some of them, it's hundreds of children because they've worked themselves again into positions of authority and access, and some of them sadly never get caught.
Put your hands up in the air. Slowly face away from me.
Military intelligence linguist and now works in construction. So he's a veteran officer, military linguist.
We're talking about government officials. We're talking about police officers, judges, school teachers, church aldermen, people that you would trust your child to be with, that you have faith in. That's what makes elite pedophiles so dangerous.
Put your hands behind your...
Exactly. It's going to be someone that you least expect, and they're more than likely going to build a rapport with the parent and build a form of trust before ever being near the child. And so it's a plan. They have like a plan of attack of how they're going to get in and close. As parents, if you have young children, you have to be really vigilant about who you let around your children. Next, we have Rick Ross, called out by a Christian rapper, D1.
Don't question Rose. Wait until you buy 10,000 bikes, 10,000 trikes. Give all the young girls who pregnant Pampers for Christmas for 20 years straight. Don't question boss. You heard me, little man? Get that basket off your head so you could think clear, little man. You going viral for speaking on niggas' names, not because of your talent, not because of your gift. Go viral, player, off of your wisdom that you're sharing.
Now remember, this guy talking was a police officer who stole the name of an actual dealer to rap under.
Brother, I love you too much. I love you too much to not be honest with you. Rick Ross, you could do better, brother. Meek Mill, you could do better, brother. I love you too much not to be honest with you. Are you the face of prison reform? Cause are you the face of prison reform? Or are you sitting here on your new song with Ross talking about getting somebody murked and shot at the red light?
Rick Ross.
First of all, I love you, brother, and I want you to know that because you sounded a little upset in your video reply to me. But I love you too much to not be honest with you. And right now, you're deflecting. I was talking about your lyrical content, and you talking about turkeys. I'm talking about you as a hip-hop OG still glorifying murder and drug dealing in your music. And you talking about turkeys? Bro, more people are streaming your music than eating your turkeys. You can believe that, brother. Oh, then you can make fun of my accent and my hair, brother. That's lightweight, you hear me? What am I doing to help my community? Well, my whole adult life, I've been a middle school teacher. Now I'm a full-time hip-hop artist. Just dropped my 10th album. It's called Uno. You should check it out, actually. I've helped to give out hundreds of thousands of dollars in college scholarships for students around this country. Done financial literacy tours year after year, brother. Shoe drives, toy drives, voter registration rallies, prison ministry. I'm currently a professor at Tufts University teaching the intersection of hip-hop and social change, and I'm a fellow at Harvard University. Ultimately, I'm just trying my best to do God's work in this industry, bro. Then you say, won't I go viral with my own content? Brother, you're a little late to the party. I've been successful for a while, man, and not having to glorify the things that's harmful to our community. Could you do that? I'm curious. Bro, I work with some of the same artists as you. The Game, Lupe, Big Crit, Juvenile, Manny Fresh, Currency, Kevin Gates, Sway, Charlamagne. These people know me, man. So as black men, let's do our best to do God's work and not glorify what's holding us down.
Don't question.
Amen. What do you guys think about that? Have you heard of the little feud that they had going on? I don't know. If I made millions sending my culture down a bad path, I don't know. Not all money is worth making. Not all money is good money. If it's made hurting someone, Nope.
You say you don't believe in God, yet scientist Sir Roger Penrose calculated the likelihood of the universe having this precise of a design, and the calculation he came up with was 10 billion to the 123rd power, which is the number 10 billion with 123 zeros at the end, a number that humans cannot even comprehend. You say you don't believe in God, yet atheist scientist Stephen Hawking stated in his book, The Brief History of Time, that at the moment of the Big Bang, if the expansion rate of the universe was different by even 1/100,000th millionth of a percent, that the universe would have collapsed back on itself. You say you don't believe in God, yet your existence alone as a human was a 400 trillion to 1 odd. You say you don't believe in God, yet did you know if one person's DNA was unraveled and placed end to end, it would stretch to Pluto and back? You say it takes too much faith to believe in God, and to that I'll ask you, have you ever seen non-intellectual produce intellectual? Have you ever seen non-life produce life? Have you ever seen a massive explosion or expansion produce design and order? Every explosion I've ever seen has led to mass destruction, not design and order. You say you can't trust biblical texts because they are ancient manuscripts that were written by men thousands of years ago, yet the Bible is the most preserved text in all of humanity, with over 25,000 manuscripts in the world. I then ask you, why do you trust the reliability of people like Caesar, Galileo, and many other ancient figures when they have far more less items written about them? You say that the Bible has been mistranslated and altered, yet the discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls in the 1950s have proven that claim to be false.
Yep.
You say you don't believe in the miracles of Jesus, yet you believe in the miracles of the universe being almost perfect in every aspect for us and our ecosystem to survive. You say it takes too much faith to believe in religion, yet I counter that claim with the notion that I believe it takes way more faith to be an atheist than a theist. You say there is no point to be a believer, yet studies show religious people live a happier life, more likely to adopt, more likely to volunteer, and marriages that are done biblically divorce way less. You say you don't need God to have good morals, and you would be correct. But then you cannot ground your morality in anything else but pure opinion. And you say, who cares? And then I'd ask you, who was right morally, Mother Teresa or people who have killed millions in the past? Because it all comes down to subjective opinion if you're an atheist. And if you've had enough bad people have a bad subjective opinion, we would be in a world of trouble. God allows us to ground our morality in an objective manner instead of pure opinion of one person versus the next. You say the Bible isn't reliable, yet carbon dating has allowed us to see over 2,000 prophecies confirmed from the Old Testament to the New Testament. You say believers are living in a fairy tale, yet the evidence of Christianity is so overwhelming, I would ask you, how can you not believe? You say, why does God allow humans to suffer and not even have enough food to live? And I'll turn that question right around against humanity and ask, why do we as humans allow people to not get enough food and water to survive? You say, why doesn't God just come down and show himself and so that we can believe? And I say to that, he already did, and we killed him. And I know that if he came again, we would try to kill him again because the world hates the truth and loves their sin. Get right with God now. Time is running out.
Whew. That was powerful. I firmly believe that time is getting short, and stop thinking that you need to be a certain way or do a certain thing before you come to him. Come as you are and let him in, and he'll do it. Like, he'll just do it. I promise he will. Trigger warning.
I'm a hot mess right now, but I looked into Marina and Zelensky, and y'all, do you know who this woman is? Now, I recognized some of her artwork back when I was looking into Balenciaga, and I remembered her face, but like, it didn't click right away. It took a little bit, and when it clicked, I was like, I should go back and look at my old research. Then I found her, got her name, and did a deep dive into her last night. Do you guys know what her artwork is known for? Have you ever seen any of her artwork? Did you know she was involved with the Rothschilds? And Kim Kardashian?
Yep.
And that John of God,
Lady Gaga,
which was Oprah's spiritual leader, they were buddies too, and he was a child trafficker, got convicted of 99 years. Did you know that Marina's going to be in charge of rebuilding the schools in Ukraine and being around children? We are not waking up fast enough. Peep the clips I'm about to show.
Jacob Rothschild rarely comes out of the shadows. Unlike other elites, he isn't photographed with celebrities or politicians, but he does pose with Marina Abramovic. And so it is not a mere coincidence that they pose together in front of a painting of Satan himself. The painting, completed in 1797, is based on a scene from John Milton's epic poem Paradise Lost, in which Satan calls to his compatriots crying, "Awake, arise, or be forever fallen." Are Abramovic and Rothschild suggesting that they are among such legions?
What do you guys think? I mean, come on, we know.
Marina Abramovic was
Yeah, John of God, but not Yahweh. He's not worshiping the Most High.
It was later revealed that not only was Faria a serial rapist, he was actually running a baby farm in which pregnant women were kept chained to beds, their babies eventually sold on the black market.
He's known as John of God, a celebrity faith healer whose followers claim he can miraculously cure diseases such as cancer. But now, the once beloved guru is accused of sexually abusing hundreds of women. And that's not all. Horrific allegations of baby trafficking and murder have also surfaced in a case that's sending shockwaves around the world.
Our next question is by Marina Abramovic in New York.
I was just speaking about her today.
She looks like a devil.
I'm almost finished.
No. That woman is pure evil, in my opinion. But... And who decided to put her in charge of rebuilding schools? Like... There is not one piece of artwork that woman has created that has not been purely satanic, in my opinion. And if not overtly satanic, she was hinting at it every time, and some were straight outright rituals in your face. As you listen to this next one, you are going to know exactly why I put it in this video.
Individuals who are religious fundamentalists, religious fanatics, and this is the expression. Over here, we have individuals. So let me complete. So over here, we have individuals who are not particularly fundamentalists, not particularly religious, and you can see there's a much reduced expression of this particular gene, the VMAT2 gene. Another evidence that supports our hypothesis for the development of this approach.
Also, the date on this, 2005.
What you see here is by spreading this virus, we're going to eliminate individuals from donning on a bomb vest and going into a market and blowing up the market.
So our hypothesis is that these are fanatical people, that they have overexpression of the VMAT2 gene, and that by vaccinating them against this, we'll eliminate this behavior. So we have some very, very remarkable data in this next slide. Here we have two brain scans. These are fMRIs. These are two different individuals with different levels of expression of VMAT2. On top is an individual who's a religious fanatic, an individual, and we've repeated this numerous times, that has high levels of VMAT2. Now, this individual down here who had low levels of the VMAT2 gene, this individual would self-describe as not particularly religious. In each case, these individuals were read a religious text. This individual lit up the right middle frontal gyrus, shown here, and that's a part of the brain that's associated with theory of mind. It's a part of the brain that has to do with intents and beliefs and desires. In marked contrast, here's an individual who would not particularly self-describe as religious, and when they're read a religious text, what you see is that this part of the brain called the anterior insula lights up. This is a part of the brain that's associated with disgust or displeasure on hearing something.
So you're suggesting I take a CT scan with me when I'm evaluating people to determine whether I put a bullet in their head?
The data that I'm presenting here supports the concept that we're proposing, and I think that we would not propose to do CT scans or fMRIs on individuals out in the hinterlands of Afghanistan. The virus would immunize against this VMAT2 gene, and that would have the effect that you see here, which is it's essentially...
All I kept thinking as he was saying, when they read the religious text, that thing in the front lights up, that corresponds with them being a more of a religious extremist, they said, versus the other one, the area of disgust showed up. Is this the difference, or a difference, between the wheat and the tares found scientifically? Interesting. This next one, I think that we can all relate to.
All right, that's enough. That is enough. I told the two of you before we got here. We're not doing this today. Who are you talking to?
The kids.
She didn't even know they were there.
I picked them up earlier. How much it took so long?
I won't take you. I've got... look at me right now. You look at me. That's right. Zip it.
Where are you going, Mom?
She's out.
Mom.
I'm telling you right now, I'm not coming to do this fucking shit today. Either that, get out and walk home. Now let's fucking go.
You see them, right?
Oh, how many of you would listen to your grandma better than you listen to your mom? Let me know. All right, everybody, this is going to be our last video today. The Devil's Tactics Exposed.
This is wild. Watch this.
I think that if Christianity had been any other religion, Christianity is the most mocked religion. Like, we want to look at religions with respect and dignity, whether it's Islam or Hinduism. We look at those with respect and dignity. And even if they have practices that we don't agree with, we sort of give them this leeway that it's part of their religion.
Yeah,
Christianity is the most openly, easily mocked of all religions. It's the most derived. For whatever reason.
Hold up, Joe Rogan. It's not for no reason. The Bible talks about this in Mark 3. It says, how can Satan cast out Satan? If a kingdom is divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. The devil doesn't attack Hinduism, Buddhism, or Islam because it's of the devil. It's of his own kingdom. But the devil attacks Christianity because it's the only way to heaven. If you believe that Jesus is the only way to heaven, follow and subscribe for more. This is wild. Watch this.
Amen. It is the only name that has become a swear word. Our God's name is the only name that is ever used in vain or as a curse word. That alone should tell you something. If you made it all the way to the end, put a smiley face in the comments. Thanks for coming back and hanging out with me again. And I will be back very, very soon. Until then, stay prayed up and stay highly motivated.